Just want to thank Jimmy Bass and the Chancellor first for giving my wife and my family and I this opportunity to come home. They say behind every coach is an even better spouse, so I would be remiss if I didn't thank my wife, Amy, who's in the back of the room. I've dragged her around to a lot of places, and everywhere we've gone, she has made it a home, and I can't tell you how excited we are to be back home. The group of student athletes that I have inherited here at UNCW, I've got firsthand experience coaching against them, and I can tell you they are a very hardworking, passionate, intelligent group of student athletes, and I couldn't be more excited to be their coach.
Go ahead and open it up for questions.
What made this the place? I mean, you've just moved not that long ago. What made this the place to come back to?
Well, it is home. It's my alma mater. It's a program that has always held a very special place in my heart. It's a program that in 1995 gave me my unexpected start in college coaching and spawned a career that I never anticipated would happen, that I absolutely fell in love with.
Did you think after high school that soccer was kind of done for you?
Yeah, I don't think I really had a plan after high school. I was just, I had opportunity to go to a variety of different schools and play, but I chose to stay here and attend school. I had a knee injury going into my senior year of high school that set me back a decent amount. And I had almost given up on competitive sport. But the coach at the time, Keith Camage, we had a nice little talk about potentially joining the team, but he said, look, I've got an option for you. We'll be coaching our first year NCAA women's team, and it was just right place, right time.
Just with the timing, well, it's less than a month till preseason starts. As a new coach coming in, how much work needs to be done just getting the ducks and everything in a row?
Sure. Well, a tremendous amount of work has to be done in a matter of weeks, specifically from a communication standpoint. I had the opportunity to speak to the team before the announcement, and those conversations have gone very well. I've been able to reach out and touch base with all of them individually as well to kind of get to know them, for them to get to know me. The phone has been stuck to my head for the last 10 days straight, speaking to them, speaking to potential candidates for assistant coaches, speaking to references on behalf of potential assistant coaching candidates. So there's a tremendous amount of work that needs to be done, but I think that in my conversations with all of the student athletes and with support staff, one thing I've gathered is that the staff that was in place here, Stacy Downer, the athletic trainer, Kyle Gilbert, the strength and conditioning coach, Justin Bryant, who was the assistant coach at the time, who's now transitioned into another collegiate coaching position, they did a very good job of keeping this team moving forward in the spring semester. And based off of all my conversations with Kyle, he feels very optimistic about where there's been a core group of student athletes that have been here this summer, working out together, training hard, in coordination with Kyle. They seem to be in a really good spot based on what he thinks. My conversations with the players that are out of town for the summer have been really good. They seem to understand that part of being a good teammate and being a great team is coming in and passing fitness on August 1. So I think there's a little bit of speculation as to where the team may be right now in that respect, but I think they're in a much better spot than a lot of people anticipate.
And in that spot, how much of it is it a sales pitch trying to retain players? Is that what you're doing as well?
I haven't had to do that. All of the incoming freshmen signed letters of intent. The group of players that nobody has transferred out in the spring, again, the staff did a tremendous job of moving this team forward, and the team is intact.
Just knowing this conference, how easy is this transition for you coming here after knowing this league and playing against UNCW?
Well, this is, of all the transitions I've made, this is certainly the easiest in that respect, being familiar with the town, being familiar with the university, being very familiar with the conference. And actually, I was very fortunate to have coached a handful of these kids when they were younger. I was also very fortunate to have recruited quite a few of them. So there's a large percentage of this team that I'm already familiar with. So what I'll do over the next 3 weeks, it's going to help me, it's going to be very beneficial for me to become as familiar with them as individuals as possible. Obviously, I'm very familiar with the team from competing against them in the CAA. So I'll go back and grind over some video over the next couple of weeks and really dig into who they are specifically as individuals, because I think that'll be a tremendous help as we formulate a preseason plan and we plan that training.
This team has always competed and been close to the top of the league. Where can this program go from here?
Yeah, this program has a tremendous tradition. 2015, for example, the CAA had 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. UNCW was one of them. Advanced over SEC South Carolina into the second round, which was a tremendous feat. I look forward to, and I'm determined to build on that tradition and legacy. Yeah, I mean, they need to know that, number one, I definitely believe in them. I see a tremendous amount of talent. Like I said, I see a hardworking group, a very passionate group, a very intelligent group of student athletes. And our coaching staff has to communicate a tremendous amount of belief in them from day one. And I communicated that on the phone to them the first chance I had to speak with them too. That trust will build in time. I think it's impossible to add more pressure onto a collegiate coach. Every game feels like a World Cup final to us. You only get to play 20 matches a year, and that includes exhibitions. So I don't think anyone puts more pressure on me to win than I do.
Is there a chance maybe to lean on some of the veterans on this team? Since you weren't here last year, obviously they know the team right now maybe a little bit better than you do. Is there a chance to maybe lean on them, kind of pick their brain a little bit?
Absolutely. It'd be very naive to not communicate with the upperclassmen and leadership on the team to find out information and figure out what we're dealing with and how to move forward. I will lean on the players significantly as well as the staff.